Well, all right, we are here. It is around 12:30, so pretty much midday. And so let's talk about midday light. And so clearly we're running on a theme here where the idea is the positioning of the main light source, where it is, and its elevation in the sky. So here at 12:30, I'm doing something you normally don't do, and that is I'm pointing right at the sun there, you can see. And then as I come back around here, the proximity here, think about how we operated in the studio when we were dealing with a broad lighting or short lighting. This idea of positioning ourselves during the midday so that we have a relatively short lighting situation. You can see this, the sun, which is acting as our key light, is coming from approximately, I guess, in the lighting compass. We're talking about number 3. So we're at about 4 on the lighting compass in terms of where that lighting is. And you can see what it's doing is it's striking the side of the tree, and it's not illuminating it completely. So I'm working with the shadow side of the tree itself. Now, when we can look down here, and I'm going to kind of get in front of the camera now. If we look down here, what you're going to see in the nature of these shadows is that they are much shorter than they were in the golden hour. Much harder. The edges here on the shadow itself is going to be very, very crisp. The shadow itself does not extend as long as it normally would have. We are in the winter season, and we are in November, and so what that means, it's not winter actually, is it? It's fall. So winter isn't until another month or so, or actually almost 2 months. Anyway, I'm digressing. The sun is lower in the horizon during this time of the year as opposed to during the summer. If we were doing this kind of exercise in the summer, we might be seeing even shorter shadows because the sun would be higher in the sky than it is during the later seasons. Irregardless, what we're talking about is the nature of the shadows here. And when you're dealing with midday light, you tend to try to get away from broad lighting. I know that's a tricky thing to be thinking about because you're always thinking, you're always seeing in a lot of these tutorials where they're saying, make sure the light is behind you. And, that's fine if you're just trying to perhaps illuminate the subject and so on. But we know a little bit better, having explored the lighting compass, having explored the character of lighting, and we know that we can work with a variety of scenarios. The short light scenario, when you're dealing with midday, is a good choice because you're able to control the massive amounts of light that is hitting just about everything. If I were to take and turn the camera around here, and you'd be looking at some of these trees, I'll follow the car. You'd be looking at some of these trees over here under broad lighting. That would be broad lighting. The sun is now all practically directly behind me, and you can see that while it's not a horrible scenario, there's much less character to those trees than in the one that I had shown where I was dealing with short lighting. So this is broad lighting. What is important to understand about this exercise of following the sun is going to be the idea that you're working with shadows. The nature of the shadows is really the heart of this exercise, where we're moving around different times of day and studying the various qualities of light when the sun is our key light source. So this being the third of the 3 that we're working on, we have one more, which I'm going to call mixed lighting. And that is going to be where the sun is practically down. It's probably around the, blue hour, twilight. And you have artificial light sources sort of happening in concert with that. You have them almost in equal balance. And I'll be demonstrating that a little bit later. All right, we'll see you later this evening.